My name is Michael Trendota. I am Chief Operating Officer at Alwington Communities. I've been a condo manager for about 7 years now. I founded the firm Alwington Communities with a partner. Myself and my team, we do the work of condo managers, which comes down to caring about the corporation, looking at its financials, that's first and foremost, looking at the health of the physical property, and looking at the health and safety and the enjoyment of living of the residents, whether they be owners or renters. So that's kind of overall what we do. So we were looking from the start to build a business that has scale, and build a business that operates very efficiently and provides a high level of service. The biggest barriers that we face as condo managers is communication with owners. When you have 5 or 10 owners in a small corporation, that's easier to communicate with. But when you get into the multiple hundreds of units, then it really becomes hard. You can't just email blast everybody. It just doesn't work that way anymore. Even Outlook you can't even send more than about 50 messages at a time on Outlook when you're BCCing everyone. So this is where a lot of firms have a challenge, and this is where we had a challenge too until we built out a system and found Condo Control Central, of course. So the other thing we really looked at was, how do we share documents with board members? So what we find that board members often print things and they store them in boxes, and then from time to time they have to open up those boxes and find an old document. That's really an old paper-based way of doing things. So we really looked for a way of allowing board members to have information without them having to print it or save it or anything like that. Corporations with over 100 units, that was the point where we really started looking around we really saw the need very, very acutely at the time that we now have large groups of owners who need to be able to access some sort of system that helps them out with all the things that they're looking for. We experimented with a couple different software tools. Obviously, we went through a process of, before we signed up with Condo Control Center, we went through a process of evaluating different companies that do this kind of work. What's easy to use for our board members and our owners? That's what we really cared about, because they are not using this 40 hours a week. Actually, we really hope that they're not. If they are, that means I'm not doing my job properly. They're only using Condo Control Central each, maybe board members, an hour or two a month to log on to review documents. So it's something that has to be easy to use for someone who almost never uses it. That's what we really looked at that set you apart. I have some corporations that are primarily younger, first-time home buyers. They're quite comfortable with technology. You give them a software platform and they'll figure it out pretty quickly. We have other corporations, though, that are usually older demographics, or maybe not necessarily older, but less familiar with technology. So we have a whole range. It's changed because we are able to be much more communicative with owners. So, for example, when we send out an email blast, it's not email bombing through Outlook again and again and again until I send everything out. I can schedule an email announcement to go out at a certain time. So it's really changed the degree and the frequency of communication that we're able to have. It's really helped us be very transparent with how much information we're able to provide. It's helped us grow our business because this now forms part of our pitches for a new business, where we are able to tell a new board or a prospective board that we use Condo Control Central, and if this is something they'd like to sign up for, here are some of the things that we can do. So it's really formed a core of our business and of our actual pitch process. Ease of use is a good one. Another one would be just an ability for me to run large corporations and large groups of corporations at the same time. So the efficiency would be probably another way to look at it. So we didn't have challenges in delivering paper notices. So the issues of walking around your building and trying to slide paper into everyone's doors, we didn't have that in the first place. So If we did have that, Condo Control would have helped us, but you helped us in advance with that. So we've been able to keep using it, and the way we've used it hasn't actually changed very much. It's been a very similar usage pattern where we do all of our announcements on there. We store all of our documents as much as we can on Condo Control. Money saved very much. If let's take a standard 100-unit corporation. Mailing out something to a 100-unit corporation would cost you about $1.50 a stamp, plus another 50 cents an envelope, plus another whatever printing costs. That would cost you about $3. So it would cost you $300 every time you wanted to post an announcement. So multiply that by 12 announcements a year, you're paying $3,600. That same corporation with Condo Control would cost you about $1,200 plus tax, so maybe with $1,400. So even there, you're saving about $1,500. Assuming you're only using Condo Control for just the announcements. That doesn't build in the other features. So it is quite a substantial cost savings. It has, in terms of efficiency, in that we can manage larger groups of corporations with the same number of staff members while still providing a good level of service. And it's also given us a competitive advantage because that communication piece is so important. So many boards and so many owners are just so drastically under-communicated with, where they have no idea what's happening in the building. They have no idea what the financial condition of the building. Condo Control has given us the ability to communicate as much as we can.